Hey, it's me, Staria. I've been feeling pretty nostalgic recently, and with that, it made me curious as to what my older videos were like. So I decided to give these older ones a watch to know what my channel used to be like.
Hey, Sonic Star, blah blah blah, nobody cares, we've been through this multiple times, let's just get through it. I've been going through my investigations for the past week now, and I discovered a little fella named Admiral DT8.
Yeah, this was actual f***ing ass. You hear that, fellas? It's everyone's favorite word, nostalgia. What the hell is Roblox's deal with it? I've been playing on this car crash of a platform for 13 years now, and I can say that it's definitely improved over the years, and also gotten worse. For many reasons. And with that, it's made me question the whole concept of going back to the past where things were better and more fun. I never really understood why people were so obsessed with trying to look how old Roblox used to look, which if you take 5 seconds, it's kind of fucking ugly if I'll be honest. But it's not to say there isn't a charm, so I've decided that today I'll be exploring the times of old Roblox to see why people are so attached to the past. And I know exactly how I'll do it. It was either this, or I go to the nearest alley and gamble whether what I get is laced or not, so this was my second best option. Now, to make this feel like I'm really experiencing these games for what they were like back in their respective eras, we have some very simple solutions. You see, with the ever-growing love of old Roblox, some developers went out of their way to not only replicate the engine of previous eras, but make full replicas of older user interfaces, allowing you to experience these old games during that time period. These recreations offer a far more immersive experience compared to just finding the game and joining it with 0 players, just to find it full of ancient scripts and bugs. So, with that being the case, we'll need to sink ourselves into each era of Roblox, starting with what I like to consider the console era of Roblox in the years 2016 to 2018. Really short era, huh? Now I'd like to keep in mind, I don't own an Xbox, but I do have a solution. It's either we do this or not, I'm already like 2 pills deep. With the lack of an Xbox, I can't realistically experience this game for all it's worth due to not being able to play on the actual Xbox version, but I do have a solution. Just like the people preserving older versions of Roblox, there's also a whole group of developers that have gone out of their way to develop the Xbox UI launcher developed by the group Luawiz, and Legacyverse, a recreation of Roblox's engines from 2015 to 2017, and goddamn are these good. Nearly everything about these two feel like a direct one-to-one of the real thing. Not to mention, a bit of customization to boot, so you can truly immerse yourself into the experience of whatever time you played in. And I really appreciated Legacyverse's attempt at starting you out in a fake version of the Roblox website before it turned into a disgusting eyesore. Playing on controller is fucking weird. I don't know if it's because I'm a fat, greasy chud, or if these games just aren't meant for controllers, but this just sometimes feels wrong, man. It's not like gross to play, but it's definitely not what I expected after years of not owning an Xbox. It also may be due to me playing on Nintendo Switch Pro controller and figuring out this thing might have slight drift, but that's not the topic of conversation right now, is it? Overall, for how weird it is to be playing with a controller again, after so many years, I do gotta admit, it is really nice to give these games a shot again. I tried to stick with games that were from the Xbox era, just so I can get the tried and true experience of what it was like to suffer with a controller. Despite the struggle, it was nice experiencing these games again, and it made me want to take less Benadryl. Getting back to Legacyverse, while not containing that large of a library of games, it does show its age. It's got classics like The Normal Elevator, Crossroads, Get Eaten. Anybody else kind of think that this awakened somebody's vor fetish? The Normal Elevator knockoffs, and some obbies that just really give the vibe that the time we're in is indeed 2016, with its UI design. From what I can understand, I think a lot of the games listed are sorted by specific years, like how some games will be labeled with a tag signifying they're from 2015, and others labeled signifying they're from 2017. Now, there's no Meep City on here, but frankly, I don't think anyone would want to play that to begin with.
Add the creator. It's easier.
There's even a fake shop with a variety of items to customize your avatar by using fake Robux, and you can get Robux by just getting achievements in games. Or be stupid like me and spend actual money. I made this absolute beauty here. Playing the games is fun, but with the small library, there's a lot to be desired if I'll be honest. With 2016 to 2018 finished, we're on our way to the classic era with the years 2009 to 2015 with...
Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube video. It's SonicStar97. Today we're playing Escape iPhone Obby. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want more awesome gameplay. Holy fuck, Angry Bird! nerds!
In this era, we'll be adopting the two brainchilds of the team RetroDev, RetroStudio and RetroBlox. RetroBlox is quite the interesting one, I do say. It's essentially the super nostalgia zone of Roblox games ranging from the years 2010 to 2015, and to me, it's such a joy to revisit these games. If they f***ing worked! Yeah, they haven't really worked on updating these games for a long time now. While not getting updates for the actual games to properly function, the most they try to do is make sure that everything is still accessible from their menu, letting players have the chance of actually experiencing these games even if they're a little broken. At least you can revisit them from the engine that they're years from. You got games like Nuke the Whales, Roblox Battle, Roblox Carnival, Block Battle, Disaster Hotel, Spleef, and many more that I could list off, but those are the ones that I actually got to try out. It also made me realize how shiny everything is. I look like I was dipped in oil. Something I do feel a bit sad about these games though is the lack of music coming from them. I'm not particularly sure if these games around this time really had music that would play, but since this whole audio update that was pushed by Roblox in 2022, it makes me wonder what music would have played in these games around the time they were popular. Hey, dumbass, it's called YouTube. I assume that you're listening to the song right now, so try to keep up, okay? With RetroStudio up next, the predecessor to RetroBlox, I have nothing but praise to give this game. No, it's not perfect, but the work here cannot be understated. RetroStudio is nothing short of the engines of 2009 to 2015 brought to life with a new coat of paint. The menus are fresh and very inviting, while also being very customizable. The free currency, Retrobucks, can be used to purchase the classic items to make avatars. Look, I made Epic Rika. And there's even Builders Club, a built-in Roblox studio where you can make classic games with a classic studio. And apparently they do events? Like the good events? Almighty RetroDev, give me another egg hunt, and my life is yours! The games, on the other hand, are really cool. Something about RetroStudio's community and use of the studio itself is really fascinating. The ability some of these guys have to make genuinely really fun experiences with the limitations brought to them with a version of an older engine is nothing short of impressive. Also, really strange ones. What the f*** is this?
Am I tweaking or is this actually Five Nights at Freddy's? Why the f*** is Five Nights at Freddy's in Roblox?
I spent way more time in this game than I thought I would. And no, it's not for my deep nostalgia of classic Roblox. It's really because this is what I want from Roblox. Of course, a lot of the newer games we've received in the past few years are indeed incredible pieces of work that deserve to become their own game outside of Roblox, but that's not why I play RetroStudio. It's the semblance of community that exists here. Of course it's not crazy active as it used to be, the game only averages about 1,000 players nowadays, but it's the fact that these developers are still going at it, giving consistent updates, hosting events I never thought Roblox would give us ever again, and just community contribution with contests. It makes me remember what I loved about Roblox so much when I was a kid. It's the sense of a community. Well, fuck me in the ass and call me Sally, because David, what the hell? So apparently I couldn't have one moment of joy and reminisce on the past now, could I? Sorry to go off topic for a second, but I'm not missing out on talking about this. Recently, David decided to roll out an update that would put in chat restrictions, making it so you can only talk to people in your specific age range. And to verify your age, you need to use either a Face ID that will detect what age range you belong in, which it will most likely be wrong, so if you want to actually be put in the proper age range, you'll need to give your ID.
Like that's ever gonna happen.
This update got so bad so quickly that there are little protests happening in games with everybody dressed as guests, and people are getting f***ing banned for it too? David Bazooki Reasoning Benadryl. In a way, it's kind of beautiful. I've always strived to find a sense of community within modern day Roblox. It somehow just took removing chat between everyone of every age just to get people to actually get together as a community and show them that they don't want what modern Roblox has become. I can understand why Roblox did this, it makes sense on paper, but in execution, you're only causing more and more problems, especially with them doing this to try and stop predators. User HallisonR2 on Twitter made a great post explaining how flawed of the feature this is within one image. You can pause to read it yourself, but it goes to show how stupid of a feature this is and clearly rusted an idea it was being pushed out, all because of drama that came out of the whole schlep situation. It just shows that David Bazooki is not only not fit to run Roblox, but it shows he has no idea what he's doing. But if you guys give me a free Hatbot, I am willing to change my mind and take back all the mean things I said. I might as well also scratch off your name. This is in pen. I just realized that. I'll just end it here with this. Mr. Bazooki, not only is this update nothing but the bare minimum, which you somehow managed to mess up with how easily bypassable this can be, but this also being a higher priority over banning pedophiles and problematic games that ruin your platform's image shows that you are nothing short of a horrible PR nightmare for the entirety of Roblox. You practically believe pedophiles are an opportunity on the platform and are an embarrassment to literally everything this platform stands for. If you want to do something about this, I would suggest leaving your position on Roblox, going to the nearest precinct, and telling them that you want your platform meant for children to have a dating feature and that you won't ban predators off your platform, because I'm sure they'd love to ask you some questions there. Of course, I'm not entirely serious with this rant. I was mainly just trying to convey my frustration with this update because you and I can all agree that this was just a horrible idea. It not only takes away a big part of Roblox, which is communication, but it kills so many games with it. Games I wouldn't personally play, but it ruins it for the people who do play those games. It's just really upsetting. David Bazooki, despite what I said, I hope you can get your head out of that pot of greed and actually try to figure out a proper solution, because this whole thing is just wrong and was done with a clear lack of foresight as to how this would affect your platform. How about we take a break? Slow your roll, and don't leave too soon, because Sonic Star 987 Gaming will be right back after these short messages, here on Staria Tube. Hi, are you looking for a place where you can talk to people, play games, share art, and even your funniest epic gamer memes? Well, do I have the solution for you. Introducing the Staria Discord. Here in the Staria Discord, we do all sorts of stuff like play games, share art, post funny memes, even host server events, where we basically just do everything I said and more. Here's a word from some of our server members. Why do you think more people should join this Discord server?
You can't say deep woke in here.
I'm here. I'm very cool. Me Fingal.
Why do you think more people should join this Discord server?
Probably because of, like, all the fun little events that you have around here, like Jackbox, hanging out with viewers, stuff like that.
Okay, sir. Why do you think people should join this Discord server? Gray.
What's up?
Why do you think people should join the Staria Discord?
Oh, I don't think they should join the Staria Discord. I don't want any more people in there.
So if you've been looking for a cool place to chill, then how about joining the Staria Discord server? Must be 16 or older to join. Failure to follow that rule may lead to amnesia, flu sickness, feeling sleepy midday, eating too much, not eating enough, no will to eat, drinking too much, sleeping multiple days in a row, going to the store when you don't need anything for free samples, and playing games and getting absorbed into the obscure worlds of them. We're back with more Bowser fart gifts for ya here on Bruno Gaming. Even with all my exploring done, I still wanted more, and with that, I went out of my way and asked one of the devs some questions. What are some of your favorite Roblox games?
Number 1, Survival 303, dead. Attrition, also dead. And Find Everything.
I can take a guess as to what the answer would be, but what are you or your whole team's goal/motivation behind RetroStudio and RetroBlocks?
Don't know about the others, but I'm autistic and have a special interest for old Roblox stuff.
When developing these games, what were some challenges you guys faced when working, and how did you guys achieve the style of classic Roblox? Are the old engines just available somewhere on the internet, or was it more deep than that?
We run into limitations with Roblox's engine a lot. Stuff like recreating visual effects while being unable to make shaders, and having to find workarounds to make data store work for systems it was not designed for. The actual old versions are available on the internet, but we had to do the work of recreating them in modern Roblox.
Are there any inspirations that got you into preserving these games and preserving this era of Roblox's engine along with it?
The whole idea behind RetroBlocks was to do Super Nostalgia Zone, but for later time periods. And then, RetroStudio was RetroBlocks, but with the studio.
I believe we still have one last job to do, and that's to go even further back. Back to the beginning with the years 2005 to 2008 with Super Nostalgia Zone. Me personally, I think I'd just take Molly, because frankly, this Benadryl is not hit. is what I would like to call the patient zero of Roblox nostalgia. It somehow not only recreates the feel of classic Roblox to a T, but also shows what games are in it. You got games like Dodge the Teapots of Doom, King of the Hill, Sword of Fights on the Heights, Thrillville, Roblox Headquarters, and even The Undead Coming, just to name a few. And if I'll be honest, it's not the greatest experience. I mean, granted, it was the beginning of the Roblox engine. It was messy, everything was janky, the UI looked really ugly. But hey, the chat bubble feature is pretty snazzy. Man, it's almost like this could have been a very beneficial feature to use in the future. Too bad they took it out! I still never understood the use of the manual camera movement buttons, and I don't know if I ever will, so if you happen to be an old head who played back in the day, let me know why this was even a feature to begin with. RetroStudio was in a way a predecessor to both this game and RetroBlocks. And with it, it made the game feel very dead and empty, so I had to rely on my Discord server to help me actually get footage by hosting an event where we try some of these games. And it was a pretty fun experience if I'll be honest. Of course, while janky as all hell, it was honestly kind of fun at times. Even if it was a bit messy, I would definitely give Super Nostalgia Zone a shot, as it could probably give you a good insight on how far Roblox has come in development. You know, before everything turned to fucking shit. The times we're in with modern day Roblox are confusing. Terrible updates, horrible CEO, and just a plethora of terrible games just made to steal your money. And also just straight up garbage at times. But hold on fellas, we got Family Man Battlegrounds and You versus Homer in modern day Roblox, so I think we have it better. And with that, it makes sense why everybody's so obsessed with Roblox's classic artistic styles and features. It's not out of a need of feeling young again. It's just because it was an overall better experience for a majority of the player base than what we have now. Well, granted, there were indeed downsides to older Roblox, such as how it's not graphically intense as modern day Roblox, as it uses a newer engine, and the classic one uses an older one. But hell, it would have been a dream of mine to have the platform feel like it was in 2015, yet still contain those graphically intense games that we have now. Alright, there's also the moderation, but let's be honest, it's not like they were ever, good in the first place. Hello, Roblox moderation, how can I help you?
Please help, I just found out my son is being groomed on your platform. Please do something.
Oh shit, it's my break. I don't need to do this shit. Fuck you. I'm gonna go take a Benadryl.
Hello?